What if I told you there's a simple, centuries-old way to preserve eggs for up to 18 months with no fridge required? If you have backyard chickens or a homestead, this means you can preserve your surplus eggs from summer production for use all year round. If you don't keep chickens, you can still use this method to preserve farm-fresh eggs for many months. It also means you can add real whole eggs to your long-term food storage and eat them when you like, how you like. This fast, easy, low-cost method is forgotten knowledge that preppers are rediscovering. I'm talking about water glassing eggs. By using this old method, you can help ensure food security for uncertain times. You really don't need much for water glassing eggs, and that's partly what makes this method so great. There are just 4 items that you need, the first being fresh, unwashed eggs. It's crucial to use fresh eggs that are coming straight from the farm or your backyard and they haven't been refrigerated. The natural bloom on the eggshell acts as a protective layer, and so your store-bought eggs, those won't work because they've been washed, removing this layer. The next item is going to be pickling lime. This is the key ingredient that creates the protective lime water solution. You can find this at most farm supply stores or right online. The next thing is a clean food-grade container. I'll be using a jar for this, but if you have a lot of eggs, a food-grade bucket will also work. You just need to make sure that these are cleaned thoroughly to avoid contamination. And if you do use one of these buckets, I'd recommend using one of these spin covers for it so you can easily access the eggs and just spin this back on. I'll put a link to all of these things, the pickling lime as well, in the video description. And then the last thing you need is distilled water. Tap water is not recommended. Tap water often contains minerals, chlorine, fluoride, things that can interfere with the lime water solution. You can also use filtered water. If you do have to use tap water, at least boil it for a few minutes. Filtered water will also work. If you do have to use tap water, at least boil it for a few minutes first and then let it cool completely. Now you're going to place your eggs inside the container, ideally pointy side down. The air cell inside the egg is located at the wider end, and storing the eggs pointy side down keeps the air cell at the top away from the yolk, which helps reduce the risk of spoilage. It also helps stabilize the yolk and keeps it centered in the egg, preventing it from breaking through the membrane during long-term storage. If some eggs end up tilted, don't worry about it. They're still going to be protected as long as they're fully covered in the lime water solution. In a clean mixing container, you want to combine 1 ounce of pickling lime, which is about 2 tablespoons, with 1 quart of filtered or distilled water. Stir the solution until the lime is fully dissolved and scale the ratio as needed. For example, 4 ounces of lime for 1 gallon of water. Now slowly pour the solution over the eggs, submerging them completely. You want 1 to 2 inches of solution over the eggs. That's it. Then you just put a lid on the container and store it in a cool, dark place like a pantry or basement. Now there are a few precautions, or at least things to be aware of with water glassing eggs. The first is that the USDA does not actually recommend water glassing as a way to preserve eggs because there's always a chance that salmonella bacteria can be present inside the egg even if the egg is otherwise in perfect condition. That's actually what allows the lime water to create that protective barrier by just getting into the eggshell just enough. But if there's a hairline crack in the egg, lime water can get inside the egg, and that's going to create a strong, bitter flavor. Now, when you go to eat these eggs, you're going to clean them off and you want to make sure they're not spoiled. 3 easy ways to check. First, put them in a bowl of clean water. If the egg sinks and lays on its side, then it's a good egg. If it floats or stands upright, toss it. Second would be cracking and smelling the egg. If it has a sulfuric, rotten odor, then it's gross, it's gone bad, toss it. And third is just a visual check. Look for any discoloration or mold inside the egg. So that's it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you want to learn more survival prepper tips, then subscribe to the channel and follow along for more.